Wednesday, August 18th, 2021, in the great state of Tennessee, the city of Nashville, where it's hot and rainy, right? Real wet out.
You know what? It has been raining for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I am just ready for it to cool down, and I am ready for that fall weather.
I am so over this heat.
I am over the heat as well. You know, we are on episode 18 already.
No, it's not 18.
It's episode 18.
Surely it's like episode 3 or 4.
Nope.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not joshing you.
I don't normally keep track, but welcome to episode 18 then of not ToonTown Rewritten. We're podcast rewritten. ToonTown Radio.
ToonTown, the one and only source for the ToonTown Radio, you guys.
Right. We love it. We love it. So let's see here. I already talked about how ridiculously hot and wet it is in Nashville. And
soggy, just slimy serotonin right now.
So yeah, I was just gonna say,
with the rain and the heat, it's just very moistury and
around your ears.
Yeah, all down my neck and my hair. It's caught in my hair.
So serotonin basically drips out of your ears. Is that like the general idea of this?
Yeah, that's where. Well, for those of you wondering, it's made in my brain.
Right.
But it leaks out of my ears when it gets too hot, and in the winter it freezes. So,
no, it doesn't.
So I have to take a hot shower. Otherwise, my body freezes and I become like stone.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not good.
So, early last week, I was going over the podcast analytics. You know, we got that software tells us who's listening, how long they're listening, on what platform they're listening to us.
It tells us a lot. It tells us their gender.
Yeah, it's surprisingly goes into some real great detail. By the way, we have more female listeners than male listeners.
That's interesting because we used to have more male.
Yeah.
Some of it says it's not specified.
Well, we've got 4% or 5% of our listeners are non-binary.
Non-binary. Okay.
Non-binary. So, everybody loves podcast rewritten.
Right. Podcast rewritten is for all ages, all the genders.
Speaking of ages, we all our age group goes from 6 years old,
What?
7 years old, all the way up to people in their their mid 60s.
6 to 60s? Wait,
Yeah.
did you say 6?
6 to 60s, yeah. Can you imagine
That's
some
just
little,
comical. Some little 6-year-old with an iPad
right.
on Spotify.
Exactly. And actually, Spotify is our number one platform, followed by Apple Podcasts. Some people listen to us right through the web, which I'm not sure how they do that.
There's been a couple people, who have told me that they can't figure out how to listen to us.
What?
So I told them, we're on Google Podcasts, so they can search us.
Google Podcasts or Spotify, Radio Republic or something like that it's called.
Now, we know that it would be a lot easier if we went and uploaded to YouTube. We've talked about it. It's not completely out of the question.
Something we're thinking about.
Yeah, it's definitely something we're thinking about it.
But anyway, while I was going through the analytics, I like to search for new states, new countries, things like that. Something popped up very, very interesting. Now, it's counting it as a new country, even though it's not a new country. Puerto Rico.
Oh.
Yeah. See, is actually part of the United States. Now, they are not a state, but they are part of the United States. So we would just like to give a very, very warm welcome to Puerto Rico. And I have one thing to say, and that is...
Koyokoso.
No.
Oh.
Actually, that's not how you say it. Because in Puerto Rico, they speak English and Spanish.
Okay.
So I'd like to
School me.
First of all, I'd like to say it in English.
Okay.
Welcome to the show. And I would also like to say it in Spanish. Bienvenido al show.
What? That was spicy.
It's very spicy. That was like
I like that.
Yeah, that was like a Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich.
That was like a Popeyes.
It's true. That
you
was
know?
like a Popeyes, no pickles, please. But even if you tell them no pickles, you're probably going to get pickles on it.
Right.
Worst customer service. Best food, worst customer service.
And if you go and sit inside, you're gonna get a show.
There's
drama at Popeyes.
Drama at something that could be like a whole podcast / YouTube channel in itself.
Honestly, yeah. Go sit inside of Popeyes, wait about 10 minutes, and you'll see.
Something's gonna pop off. That's why it's called Popeyes, because stuff pops off.
Yeah, and you know what? Me and you for a while used to like to go sit inside Popeyes.
We used to go constantly, like pre-pandemic, right?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, pre-pandemic, we used to go for a while.
We used to go, but
it's like a dinner show.
It is like a dinner show for free. Well, not for free. You're
for
paying
cheap.
for your food,
but not
cheap.
The show.
Right, the show is for free. Although you might get hurt.
Yeah,
they really should make you sign a waiver.
Yeah,
before you go in there. That'd be great. We should do that.
Yeah.
Live from Popeye's Chicken. We got to do a show live
on site, podcast rewritten.
Let's do that. We got to.
Oh my.
Okay. We're going to write that down, toss it around, and see what happens with that.
Right.
I know we got a bunch of comments this week.
Yeah, we do have some comments.
Let's hear it.
So the first comment was under our 2004 ToonTown Online CD-ROM video that we did, and it is from Peach_Pyro, and they said, "Oh, this is so cool to see." Thank you, Peach Pyro.
A lot of people loved that
yes.
2004 CD-ROM video.
That video, yeah, that really popped off. Another comment under the same video was, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but I'm going to try. It was from Merlin Kai. It's spelled MERLINKILIEMRYS. And they said, "This was deleted from my memory until now." Yeah. Glad we can remind you of that. So another comment we got that was under the video that we did, it was Loud Jester Tricky Twist's estate tour. Nicholas_Tomorrow 30 said, "Absolute legend." Talking about you.
Nice.
You are a legend.
Thank you, sir. I'm about old enough to be a legend. I think, just about old enough.
Oh, stop it, you. So that was, all the comments I'm going to read for this one.
Well, that's awesome. Let's see. We also had a pretty important announcement to make. Annie, why don't you spearhead that?
Yes. So, I'm not sure if all of you know, we did make an announcement this past week. So, Podcast Rewritten, had a Discord server for, I'd say, a couple of weeks. It was a very interesting, fun, long journey. Neither one of us really knew much about Discord. I myself am very good at social media. You are great at audio and editing.
Well, thank you.
But neither of us knew much about Discord, and we had a ton of help along the way. We just had a lot of staff help us. I'm terrible. I don't remember all their names offhand. But I will shout out our admin who helped us a ton along the way, polish up the server, and that is Supermouse. Without Supermouse, we might have drowned, and the server, honestly, might have ended a lot sooner than it did.
We ended it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just basically decided that we just had too much on our plate right now.
Yeah.
At this time.
We basically decided we just want to stick with what we're good at, and just focus on this for right now. And that's not saying that we're not going to have a server again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
We might, but right now we just want to focus on the podcast and focus on our Twitter and our Instagram, and just letting out a weekly podcast for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe perhaps on location at Popeye's Chicken. You never know. Maybe we'll get some drama.
Yeah, and maybe do a Discord when we don't need as much help.
Yeah, like if we could learn a little bit about it, but it really took up a lot of Your time, especially.
It did take up a lot of my time. And I mean, honestly, once we had the people we did, I mean, it was going good. It was a lot more stress than
Yeah,
needed.
absolutely.
So
Okay, so with that out of the way, I wanted to talk about one of the characters in ToonTown Rewritten, and this is going to be the first of a couple of history segments I'd like to do. Now, we've done Toontown Online history a little bit. We've kind of touched on it, like how the cogs were created originally in the original Toontown Online, but I kind of wanted to go a little bit deeper into the Toontown Rewritten history, and I think it all starts basically with Dr. Surlee. Now, you know who Dr. Surlee is,
I
right?
do. That is the orange monkey.
The orange monkey. When you first boot up Toontown Rewritten on your computer, and that little box comes up where you put your username and password, the orange monkey on the side, like to the left, that's Dr. Surlee. Dr. Surlee is the director of Looney Labs, a member of SILLY, which stands for Scientists Interested in Laugh Levels Increasing. Okay. He can be found in Toon Hall inspecting the SILLY meter. That's where you find Surly. So I guess you can kind of interact with him. So to kind of know who Dr. Surlee is, you got to kind of know who he used to be, which sounds kind of cryptic. Now, a lot of you guys might know this story, you might not. Okay, so you might know the story about Gyro Gearloose, right? He was the character who inadvertently, sort of accidentally created the cogs, right? And the Toontown election, geez Louise, I think it was April. Yeah, I think it was April 19th of 2003 when they held the Toontown elections between Slappy and
And Flippy?
Flippy, I think, yeah. Slappy ended up winning.
Oh my.
Is that correct? Well, that's when the Cogs mysteriously invaded Toontown, and they referred to that day as Doomsday.
It's dark.
Dark. It sort of is kind of dark, and they took away Slappy.
They flew off with him?
They
That's
flew
very
off.
dark.
That is pretty dark. So Gyro Gearloose felt kind of like responsible for that secretly, though. Secretly. So April 19th was when Slappy won the election, but he was abducted by a cog. Cogs invaded Toontown. So things were kind of crazy, up in the air, chaotic. Toons fighting Cogs. Toontown was locked down. Right. Locked down. So they finally got everybody back into Toontown when they got stuff kind of organized. Was around June 2nd, 2003. Gyro returned to his lab, but he was riddled with guilt, right? Because he was like, I created these cogs. The cogs came in, tore up Toontown. Poor Slappy. Where is he? I don't know. But he said, he vowed, one day I'm going to find Slappy. That's what he said. He's like, I'm going to find Slappy. But Gyro Gearloose took his leave mysteriously. Went to an undisclosed location. I don't even know where he went.
I'm not sure.
And
where
I'm a
he went.
legend.
Yeah. No.
No idea where he went. No idea. Around 2009, everything is kind of going along as usual. You know the story. You know, Toons fighting cogs, doing buildings, factories, trains, comings, going, cog suits. We're fighting them. We're doing all sorts of stuff. Going into stores with crazy names, right? Number crunches, micromanages, flunkies, all of them, right? Everything's just, going along. February 2009, the team known as Cake, Cake, I forgot what it stands for. I'm awful. starts searching for undiscovered matter and particles. This is like a very scientific team, right? Using Gyro Gearloose's old research. By April of the same year, the silly particle is discovered, right? The silly particle finally gets discovered using Gyro's research. They discovered the more silly particles in Toontown, the crazier, the wackier, the sillier Toontown got. We'll get into that later on. Come August 5th, right? August 5th, a letter is discovered, a document, okay, claiming that Gyro Gearloose has returned. And I happen to have a copy of that.
You have
letter.
a copy of his letter?
I have a copy of that letter. I'd like to read it.
Please, share it.
It is dated August 5th, 2009. It's been 6 years. 6 long years. I couldn't take my cowardliness anymore. That's what I am. A coward. The cogs are still here. I managed to visit the lab today for the first time since I left. It's a skyscraper. It's the center of their business, their nation. I did finally learn where Slappy was a few years back. By the time I found out, however, it was too late. That sounds grim, right?
That sounds very
That
grim
sounds
and dark.
Yeah. The Toons are all having fun, but they haven't seen what I have. They progress as usual, but of course it has slowed. They don't realize what will happen when the cogs no longer see us as a valuable asset. The same thing that happened to Slappy when he was no longer valuable to them. So I guess we know what happened to Slappy. I've come up with an experiment, several actually. I've heard that there will be a new science company starting up called Looney Labs that I'll be applying to, and maybe my silly meter will finally be built. The real experiment, however, is to save our town. I messed up 6 years ago by running away, and whether or not mistakes can be reversed is a hypothesis I must test. Whether or not fate can be reversed is an even greater one. My name is Gyro Gearloose, and today my story is rewritten.
Oh wow,
Boom.
that is deep and just powerful.
Very powerful. Very, very powerful. We can so next week we're going to talk a little bit more about it.
Yes.
About how the transformation between Gyro Gearloose became Dr.Surlee, why he did it, how he did it, and what the outcome was.
This is gonna be good. I can tell.
But remember, Dr.Surlee is Gyro Gearloose.
So when you go into Toon Hall in Toontown Central Playground, there's a giant silly meter
Yes.
with Dr.Surlee.
Yes. That's Gyro Gearloose.
That is Gyro Gearloose.
He is the creator of the cogs. Now, by default, he never intended for them to actually let loose on Toontown. That was kind of Scrooge McDuck's fault.
Right.
Because Scrooge McDuck supposedly funded all of Gearloose's experiments, inventions. You know, it's always like that, right? You've got like the mad scientist, yeah?
Yep.
And you've got the guy in the background sort of funding it, right? It's kind of like today's government in a weird way.
Very much so.
Whatever. Scrooge McDuck's visited the laboratory while Gyro Gearloose was going to the elections. And Scrooge McDuck was like, there's nobody here. And he found a robot. And it said, like, do not activate. I talked about this a couple of episodes back.
Yeah.
Maybe like 10 episodes back. A while ago. But, so Scrooge McDuck activated it. And that's what started this whole thing. So is it Scrooge McDuck's fault? Is it Gyro's fault? Either way, Gyro Gearloose is taking responsibility for it, trying to fix it. Let's see what happens, right?
We'll see what happens
Yeah,
for sure.
we will. Absolutely.
So I've got a little something. As a lot of you know, recently there was a big stream going on in ToonTown Rewritten. It was called Toon Fest for Charity, and they were raising money for Extra Life for kids. And Extra Life is a fundraising program for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And to my knowledge, they raised over $5,000.
Wow.
Just a little over 5,000.
That's incredible.
Which is incredible. Yes, that is, very helpful. And it's a great cause.
Podcast Rewritten did make a small
Yes,
donation.
we made a small donation. And yeah, very good cause. And so it was just a bunch of streamers streaming, and it was a 36-hour stream. But my point is, so Joey Zolkowski made a tweet saying, last night I rallied a bunch of supporters for cow tunes on stream. To raise the stakes of this movement, I'll release a content pack replacing horse tune sounds with a cow tune sound by yours truly if we hit 5,000.
Wow.
And that they did. And then he said, oh no, that was it. But yeah, no, they did. They reached over 5,000. So pretty sure there will be a content pack coming out replacing the that horse neigh with the cow moos.
Cow moo. That's cool.
Yeah, wouldn't that be pretty cool?
That's awesome. And congratulations to them on raising over 5,000.
Yes, congratulations, and
hit their goal.
thank you to everybody who donated to that. That's a really good cause, and thank you to all the streamers who streamed on there and gave us that good content.
Yeah, that is incredible. So I wasn't as busy in game this week as I was like the past 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I've been working a little bit of overtime, got a little bit sick last week, kind of had to change medications, but I'm back on track now.
That's good to hear.
But I did do a couple of things in game.
What'd you do?
I'm not sure exactly, but I've got it written down. Let's see. I think I already said it last week. Maybe I started training trap. Maybe I didn't say it.
I don't remember. I don't think you.
I don't
said
think
that,
I did.
because
No,
that's new.
I started training trap. I opted for trap over tune up because I noticed something. Everybody's got.
Actually, that sounds familiar. I think you
Maybe
did,
it
but
does, yeah.
but
Deja vu.
I mean, but we get a lot of new listeners. So.
Or maybe we just talked about it amongst ourselves.
Well, we might have. Honestly, I don't remember because I remember telling you to get to not get tune up
Because everybody's got it.
Yeah, because everybody has it.
Everybody does have it. Yeah. Anyway, I've been training the heck out of that. I've already got like 4 cells or 5 cells.
Right.
Is that what it's called? Cells?
A
Animation
gag track,
tracks?
an
Tracks.
animation track, cell track.
I can now hold. Are you ready for this? 40 gigs.
Oh.
I did the Toon task for that. I have my laugh limit raised by 2. That's
very good.
Dos to our friend in
Dos.
Puerto Rico,
Spicy.
in Argentina.
And you know what? I want to make another point. If you don't have tune up, you can always you have your doodle, and once you start doing your Cellbot suit and your Cashbot suit, you get the SOS cards, and you get your Unites for your tune-ups. And,
No idea what you're talking about right now.
you'll get there.
No idea what you're talking about. Did I tell you I went to the ADA Bean Fest too?
Oh, did you go to a Bean Fest?
At the ATTA, that's that Facebook group, ADA?
Yeah.
Adult Toontown something or other players.
Yeah.
I went, they advertised it, and I just happened to be on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, look, a Toon test starting in like 5 minutes. Jumped on. I forgot where they had, they did it at the Goofy Speedway.
Yeah.
So, and they said what district it was. I forgot what district, Bounceboro or one of those. I went to it, and boom, there's a ton of people. Everyone's
Nice.
like, beans, beans. I'm like, yeah, I need beans. So they had a huge turnout. Walked away with about 12,000 beans. No big deal.
Bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, you kidding me? Rich Toon. And I'm going too far because I know it don't matter anyway. No good?
Very good.
Hall and Oates?
Yep.
Nobody?
No, I know it.
Okay.
It's all right. Anyways, so I did not do much either.
Really? You haven't been on lately.
Yeah, because,
I haven't seen you.
sometimes I'll spend like a week straight on there every
Right.
day for hours.
Sometimes you just got to put it down.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I'll get on for like a couple minutes and
Right.
But but I did master the 4-bean flower, and I can now plant 5 beans for gardening.
Oh, that's crazy. I just actually picked my 1-bean flowers, and I didn't know what to do with them after I picked them. I was talking to you on the phone, I think it was today or yesterday,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I picked the flowers. What do I do with them? And you said to me, you sell them. And I'm like, to who? To like just people in the playground? Hey, do you want to buy a flower? And you were like, no. The wheelbarrow in your estate,
Yep.
which I have not done yet.
You just run around till you see the wheelbarrow.
Yeah, the wheelbarrow. And I just go up to it and I what?
You just walk up to... So like on the playgrounds, like there's a fisherman?
Yeah.
Well, at your estate, there is a wheelbarrow.
So you put the flowers in the wheelbarrow and
Yeah,
then
you walk up to it.
carry the wheelbarrow to the
No, you
playground?
don't carry it anywhere.
Oh,
You just sell
put
it
them
at
in the-
your estate. And then, so you could fish at your estate, but there's not a fisherman, there's a bucket. You walk up to the bucket and you just sell them.
So the estate is kind of like a playground.
Yeah,
in
for
a sense.
fishing and gardening.
I like my estate. I did my estate walk through.
Yeah, and there's ice cream cones for laugh at your estate.
There is ice cream cones, and sometimes I will go there and gather them up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go to Donald's Dock and swim.
That
in the
is
pond.
true. We did do an estate tour for you.
Yeah, we
because
did.
we had done one for me, but it was about time we did one for you.
And that was where I revealed that me and Clarabelle may or may not have something going.
Be an item. Y'all may be an item.
or we might not be an item. I'm not saying. Look, a gentleman never tells.
That's a very gentlemanly
Never tells.
thing to say.
Never tells. Anyway, what else you got?
I'm going to be honest. That is about all.
Is that a
have.
wrap?
That's a wrap.
I can't believe episode 63 is all done.
Episode 117 wrapped
Episode 217, that's a wrap.
Episode 18, guys.
Is it 18?
Seriously, though, episode 18.
Episode 18, fantastic.
Wrapped up like a present, put it under the tree. It's done.
All right, then we'll see everybody in game.
We'll see you guys.
And that's it.